What's going on? I'm gonna make a video I don't think I've made before. This one's gonna be about fear and what I've been noticing about how people project fear, and not so much in accordance to me, but just in general. Most people, most people's fear comes from the unknown and what they don't know and what they think they know, honestly. And it's something that is really telling about people. How a lot of people will refuse to face their fears, honestly. And that's like one of the main reasons why people stay stagnant, don't really move or evolve or reach their goals or their dreams because of fear. I see it every single day and how people project and how it manifests in so many different ways. How it's something that people just refuse to truly accept what it is. People would rather lie and pretend and make up excuses versus like face themselves and understand why they feel the way that they feel and explains kind of like their experiences throughout the world and why they ended up where they end up. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely try every single day to face my fears and to understand that people are more afraid of you than you are of them. And once you truly understand that, one, like people aren't as bad as you think they are. Your situation is never as bad as it normally is, and things can always be worse. And most importantly, someone always has it worse than you. It's a lot of the fears is kind of just made up in your head. And I think a lot of people use it to make excuses for whatever they're doing and whatever they're going through, and just keep them stagnant where they're at. Don't allow them to progress, to grow, to change. It just keeps them where they're comfortable, honestly. And I think there's a lot of people who are comfortable in that fear. They'd rather be stuck right where they're at, don't really grow, don't really want to reflect or learn, to stay where they're at and just kind of be complacent and not really allow themselves to really be vulnerable in these situations, to try and get a different perspective or at the very least more knowledge, more and more information. People would just rather be like, nah, I'm good where I'm at. Yeah, I can't really blame people. Maybe we all have our own lived experiences. We all have our own paths that we're walking on. So I can't really tell people what to do with their lives. But at the same time, just constantly seeing people project their fears in so many different ways, and it's like I keep saying, it's all a performance. People aren't. I'm pretty perceptive when it comes to people. I can see myself. I can see myself in other people, and I can see people. I can see through the performances that they're putting on. And a lot of what people do nowadays is just fear-based. Honestly, it's just them just afraid. Not so much of you. It's never all that personal. But at the same time, you are part of that fear. We all are. And if you don't really face it, you don't really come to terms with it, it really can wreak havoc on your life. It truly can keep you from all your blessings and keep you from just really thriving in this world. This world was not made for cowards. It might have been built for whoever, but it's not made for cowards. Cowards do not get anywhere in this world. They get no traction, they get no play. They stay where they're at, and it's very telling that so many people feel so comfortable being in that position, staying there and keeping other people there too, keeping everybody else in fear, so they don't have to grow and change and learn and to move forward with this ever-rotating planet of learning and growing beings. It's just people just be like, nah, I'm good where I'm at. which, once again, it's their life. I'm not going to sit up here and tell people how to live it. But at the same time, I just know that you're not actually living your life in the fullest potential. And you know that, either you know it consciously or unconsciously, you know that you're not living your life to the fullest potential, which is the reason why the projection in the performances go on. It's because, from my perspective, what I've gathered is it's like a test to see if you are actually someone with courage. If they will do everything to kind of get you to conform, to get you to get under your skin, and to really, really project their fear back to them. To be like, I got you. I know you were scared, just like I am, and you aren't willing to face this storm that's coming. You're in the same boat as I am. You're no more courageous than I am. And I don't necessarily like calling people cowards, because that's kind of cruel. Courage is something that you learn. You're kind of born with it, and you kind of just get better at it as you get older and you get more experiences. But at the same time, there should be like a base line of courage that you should have in order to get all your blessings and to really thrive in this world. And so many people are just so comfortable just being where they're at and not really facing their fears. And it explains so much of what's going on in this world and in society where there's so much dysfunction, so much chaos. A lot of it stems from fear. So much fear going on, and people just don't want to just get outside their comfort zone. And when they do, they always want to do it in like a public setting where there's other people around them to give them some semblance of validation. It's never truly, people aren't really truly show courage, in a one-on-one situation, or in a situation where the odds aren't in your favor, essentially. You know what I'm saying? People just kind of back down and just be like, you know what, you got it. I don't really want to see this through and to really challenge myself and to really grow. I'm cool where I'm at, and that's fine with me. It's like, you know what, that's what you want to do, that's fine. But at the same time, you can't really be, be in a position of power or advocating for people, or at least pretending to be these things, while also just having little to no courage and not really having the will or the desire to put yourself in a very uncomfortable situation to where you might be wrong, that you might have gotten something, you might have misunderstood something, or you might have overstepped or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? There's any type of, you're avoiding any type of negative feeling, you know what I'm saying? Which, once again, understandable, but at the same time, you got one life, you really truly have to live it. And living it, playing it safe is not a way that I want to live, truly, honestly. But who cares how I want to live? It's other people's lives. They get to live how they want to live, and no one person's life is better or more virtuous than anybody else. But still, the fear that I'm constantly seeing every single day, not even personally for myself, but just it's everywhere. It's a very, very clear call for help. Honestly, like a lot of people are just being like, hey, I'm scared. Hey, I'm overwhelmed. I'm emotionally unregulated. Things are not happening that I want to happen. Things are not manifesting the way that I see it, and I don't know what to do. Instead of saying that out loud, or at least saying that in some semblance of words, they'll just project and just make everybody else feel that fear. A lot of Wizard of Oz shit going on right now. A lot of very scared people hiding behind a curtain, putting on this really big, scary act, trying to scare people. And it's this. I'm very glad that the up-and-coming generations see through it and are really being like, nah, I'm not really participating in this. This is now or never. Pretty much every single day is now or never. And you just being stuck and stagnant and not taking chances and just being in your comfort zone all day. It's not a way to truly live and experience life. We didn't get here as a species living that way. Not even close. We took chances every single day. We rolled the dice every single day. And that's how we got here. That's how we became, the top of the food chain in that sense. It's because we took risks, and that's what life's all about, is taking chances and living with the results. You know what I'm saying? You're never going to win all of them. But it's like the wise quote that MJ say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You know what I'm saying? So many people are just, they don't even want to be on the court. They don't even want to be on the bench. They just want to be on the sidelines, out in the crowd, booing. You know what I'm saying? Don't even want to participate. And it's just like, if that's what you want to live your life, that's fine. I guess we all can't, be out here doing it. But at the same time, it's just, I would like to see more people show a little bit more courage. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more understanding, take more chances, and really try to get to the root of their own problems instead of just projecting it and try to get other people, drag them down to where they're at, try to just raise themselves up and get past their fear, because every single day I just see so many people just projecting their fear. And I know better now to not to overly provoke them and to really get them to do more than what is necessary. It's because at the end of the day, they're just scared. You know what I'm saying? They're just scared. They don't know what to do. They've never been in this situation before. This is all new for a lot of people. So this is understandable. And I don't want to make things cause more chaos than the chaos I already caused. But at the same time, I do have to call this out and call out the people who are just being cowards and living cowardly lives. You know what I'm saying? It's just the theater that I see every single day trying to scare me and other people. It's like, you're not going to scare me. This is nothing but you projecting your fear onto me. I am not afraid of any of this. This is not scary to me. This is life. This is just nature running this course. This is nothing new. I'm not gonna pretend that this is anything but that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna live according to nature. I'm gonna live according to what I'm put on this earth to do. And all of this is just part of it. You know what I'm saying? This is all just part of the plan. This is all just a test to make sure that I am who I think I am, that I am who the people who believe in me am, or who they believe that I can be. That's all this is. And I keep that in my heart every single day, being like, this is what this is. I'm not going to take this personal. I'm not going to look at these people anyway or differently. It's going to be like, I appreciate the disrespect, the comments, the shit talk, and all this stuff. Now look at it as, if you truly didn't care, if this didn't affect you, you would just ignore me. You would just ignore this. You would just ignore all of this if it truly didn't matter. But it does matter. I do matter. What's going on does matter. That's the reason why I do what I do, and I continue to do it. Because what people do and how they project their fear motivates me so much. I don't necessarily need motivation to do what I do, but it reminds me that what I do is important, and why I can't stop doing what I'm doing is because of what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? The day where people ignore me and I'm just invisible and people just don't even have any reaction to me is the day where I'm doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? But every single day I'm getting a reaction from dozens of people everywhere. Everywhere I go, I'm getting reactions from people. And it's just telling me that what I'm doing, what I've been doing my whole entire life is in accordance to where I'm supposed to be. And that's because I do not live in fear. It's the number one reason I do not live in fear. I'll have fear. I'm always scared. I don't want to be a psychopath. At the same time, I will not be in fear ever in my entire life. I will always face it, and I will always live with the consequences of facing that fear every single day. And I just encourage people to continue doing it. If you are doing it, please stop living in fear. It will not get you anywhere you want to go. It will not give you any blessings. It will just keep you stagnant. It will keep you right where you're at. And if you want better for yourself, you want better for your loved ones, then you need to face that fear and stop projecting it on everybody else, because it's not getting you anywhere. I promise you.